Bitcoin's been going sideways forever. What the fuck? Hello and welcome back to the Weekly Crypto Review. This has been an interesting time. It's not all that unusual. It has happened before. Let's take a look at the charts. First off, in the description below, I've got a link for the Brave browser. If you use that link to download the browser and you use it for 30 days, I get a little bit of Brave. You get a browser that pays you to look at advertisements on the web. If you got to see the advertisements anyway, why not get paid for them? All right, so let's take a look here. I wanted to point out something real quick. This is Coin Paprika, and I want to point out that on Coin Paprika, Cardano is number 7, and Chainlink is number 9. If we go over here to CoinGecko, we have Cardano at number 6, and we have Chainlink at number 8. Theoretically, these should both have the same rankings, the same information. What happens is it's different because they look at different sources of data. This is something you have to be aware of in the cryptocurrency space. Different sites are going to use different data sources to get their information, and so what is true of one site may not be true of another. Okay? Pick your site carefully and use it consistently, and you should be able to take most of this inconsistency out of the equation. So I'm going to go back here to Coin Paprika because it's got a 7-day history on it, and over the last 7 days, the last week, Bitcoin has moved up just over 0.5%. The week before that, it dropped by 0.5%. The week before that, it went up by 0.5%. We have been literally going sideways for 3 months, and what that has done is it's caused people to stop putting the big money, has stopped putting money into Bitcoin. I mean, certainly there are people putting into Bitcoin because it's stable, it's not dropping. People are not selling out of Bitcoin. They're just not putting their money back into Bitcoin at this point because it's not going anywhere, so they don't see it as a good investment. People want to see their investment go up. They want to see it rise in price. So what do? Well, they go to altcoins. So let's take a look at the charts. And I've got on here, I included the Bollinger Bands because I wanted to show you what's going on here. These Bollinger Bands here are, if you don't know, Bollinger Bands, the red line in the center is a 20-period average. In this case, we're looking at the weekly chart, so it's a 20-week average. The blue lines, top and bottom, are a standard deviation above and below. And what happens is that as the price action moves, these lines will widen and narrow, and we can see them narrowing back over here just before it moved up, and then it widened out, and it's narrowed somewhat, but now it's widened back out. This is on the weekly chart. The narrowing of these bands indicates that something's going to happen. There's going to be a breakout or a breakdown. It doesn't indicate which direction. It just simply says it's going to happen. Now on the weekly chart, I don't see anything unusual, but if I go over here to the daily chart, look at how narrow. Where is my get off auto? Look at how narrow these bands are. Okay, and this is back when we started going sideways, and as we have gone in, this price action is coiled in tighter and tighter and tighter, and the Bollinger Bands are getting tighter and tighter and tighter. This tells me that we're about due for a change. I think it's going to be a breakout. I think we're going to go up in price. We could drop in price if something massive like happened in March happens again. We could drop, but I think we're going to go up, and I think we're going to go up above this green line of resistance. It's this green line that we have been riding all the way down for the past 12 weeks. If we can get above it, now we can start moving because we've got some room up here. Now we can start moving up a little bit higher. I don't expect massive price increase. I think we'll get up above $10,000. I think that we might get as high as 10.5, 11. I'd like to see us get above this 10.5 and make it support as well. That allows us to start working our way up. Now, we are not at that point where the price is going to jump up and everybody's going to FOMO in. We're actually about where we were in 2016 when Bitcoin was between $100 and $200, and we're just hanging out. We're biding our time is really what we're doing at this point. Okay, it wasn't until 2017 that the price started to really rise. Well, we're going to see that again next year. We didn't see the all-time high price matched back in 2016. It wasn't until 2017, the beginning of 2017, where we went over, what was it, $1,100? And then we got into the blue sky and things started to rise rapidly. Same thing I expect to happen here. Sometime next year, after the first of the year, I expect to see $20,000 and we'll start that blue sky discovery again. So we've got a few months. What that means is that as long as we're below $10,000, people have a chance to buy into Bitcoin at a low price. Because I believe that once we get above 10,000, once we get above this blue line resistance at 10.5, we're never dropping back down to 10,000 again. Again, this is not financial advice in any way. I'm simply reading a chart telling you what I see. So let's go ahead and take a look at some other charts, some other coins. If we go down here to ADA, so we're looking at Cardano, and massive rise, nearly just under 400%, and that is between March 16th and July 6th. So about 3 months, three and a half months. That's an incredible rise in price, 400% in 3 months. You're not going to see that anywhere but crypto. Fantastic. Okay. Now, the last couple of weeks, we have certainly seen it drop in price a little bit. That's to be expected. With this kind of rise, you expect the price to come back down, settle, and consolidate a little bit before it goes back up. Now, I drew this line, this green line here, at what should become support. Worst case scenario, this is where the support should be. This is about 10 cents. So we're currently at 12 cents. If we drop down about 2 cents, honestly, I'm not concerned about that. That's not a big deal to me. It's 2 cents. Yeah, it's a sixth of the price? Okay, fine. Again, not worried about it. We're still at the very beginning of this bull run. We have plenty of time and plenty of room to move. Now, I did want to show you, because ADA, Cardano, yep, everybody's calling Cardano an Ethereum killer. I don't believe that, but because it does similar things to Ethereum, I've created a ratio which shows us the ratio between Cardano and Ethereum in US dollars. And you'll see that Cardano is just blowing Ethereum out of the water. It's amazing how well this is working. Okay? And I believe this is the bet as far back as we go. Yes, this is as far back as we go. And we are, at this point, above the highest point that we were. Well, we breached that high point. This is, again, this is where resistance is going to be. So let's go ahead and put a line here, and we'll show you where that is. There we go. Make sure it's nice and straight. So if we come in here and focus in on this candle right here, we'll see that this green candle just went above this line of resistance. And the red candle came down, it closed just above it, and now this week we're coming back down. So we just passed resistance. We found support one week and then lost it the next. That's okay. This is our line of resistance at this point. It should be temporary. Should be. I expect we'll see it go above that, but we're going to see I think we're going to see some real interesting price action, especially if it takes Ethereum another 6 months or more to come out with Ethereum 2.0. What we're seeing here is all those Ethereum people looking at Cardano and saying, hey, the Shelley net's going live at the end of this month. They've already got distributed proof of stake figured out. This is where Ethereum's having their problems. They're trying to figure out distributed proof of stake. They haven't yet. That's the Ethereum 2.0. That's the big Ethereum 2.0 they keep talking about. They keep promising. They've been promising this for 3 years now. Still hasn't happened. And so I think you've got a lot of people coming in who are, I won't say that they're the Ethereum fanboys so much, but they like the idea of Ethereum. Well, they're looking at Cardano and saying, these guys have already got it figured out and they're going live at the end of this month. Maybe I should take a closer look at it. And that's what we're getting, is we're getting a bunch of money into ADA, and it's pumping the price. And when this hard fork happens, I think it'll settle down a little bit until the next event. And because of the way that the Cardano Foundation has been putting this together, I think we're going to see much quicker progress than we have over the last 3 years. And I think that over the next few months, the next year or so, we're going to see a series of events come in to Cardano that will be newsworthy and cause the price to pump even higher. So I think we're in for a good ride. Okay, so now the last one I want to look at here is Chainlink, and it's doing very well as well. Let's take a look and see what we've got here. If we go to the bottom here, right about there, and we go back up here to the top of this green candle, that is a 310% increase. And that's between March 16th and July 15th. It says July 27th at the bottom, but I've got my line for over on next week, so it can't be July 27th. But yeah, 310%. That's a pretty good increase in price. Again, you're not going to see this in anything but crypto. Of course, after an increase of that, we expect to see the price cool off a little bit, and that's exactly what's happening here. It's dropping down just a bit. No worries. We're at $7.55. We went as high as $8. Is that right? Looks like $8.09, $8.10. So we've dropped back about 50 cents. Not worried about that at all. I expect it'll cool off, drop back down over the next couple of weeks, and then consolidate, and then hopefully it should begin working its way back up again. Probably not. I don't expect it to do this again quite this high. And the reason I say that is the only reason these and other altcoins are pumping the way they are is, again, because Bitcoin isn't doing anything. Bitcoin's going sideways. And we don't have any reason, well, I say we. People don't see any reason to go into Bitcoin. They're looking for something that's actually got some price action to it. So they're going into the hot cryptos, which at this point tend to be things like ADA and Chainlink. Okay, I have had my investments in those for a while. I'm reaping the rewards of other people discovering them and saying, oh, this has got some value. You've got two kinds of people. You've got the people who look at it and say, ooh, this has some value. I see what they're doing, and I think that's a good idea. They tend to be the minority. The majority of people that are going into these alts, what they're saying is, ooh, the price is going up. I should get into this. Most people are going to be chasing after price. That's not the way you make money in any investment. Again, not investment advice, simply my experience over 30 years of being in the financial industry. Chasing after price is never going to get you any profit. You find the stuff that has value, whatever that value may be. Hopefully you discover it before most everybody else, and then you wait for everybody else to realize, oh, this is something worth owning. Now, one real quick look at the stock to flow ratio. I want to pull this up like that and show you that here's that sideways price action that we've been seeing. And even so, we're about where we were when the halving occurred. Not a big deal. I don't see any real issues here. And if you look back here at the last one, we did exactly the same. It went up, it dropped, it went below the line, which is where we're at now, and then it slowly started to curve up. I expect that to happen over the next several months. If we look at, see if I can pull this up like that. So the last time, we're down here, we had the halving, right about, where was it? It was back here a little farther. And after it dropped, it slowly worked its way up. And so we are right about here in this process. So give it a few more weeks, another couple of months maybe, and I fully expect that we will see this price start to slowly curve its way up. And again, as you see right here, it went way above this line. It went way above where the stock to flow model said it should be, which was what, $5,000, just under $5,500. Instead, it went all the way up to, 19.5, 19.7, whatever it was. And this time, we're saying that the price of this should be at about $90,000. Well, I expect it to come up here a little closer to, say, $250,000 before it drops back down. If it does the same thing it did last time, we're looking at a price of about $225,000, $250,000 per Bitcoin at the peak before it drops back down into a bear market. I can live with that. I absolutely can live with that. Anyway, that's what I've got for you today. I, again, went longer than I wanted to. I try to make these about 10 minutes long. I like to talk. What can I say? Anyway, until next time, remember, don't trust, verify.